Dave, I don't know if I'm just supposed to come over there and cuddle with you and hug you and you're going to kiss me or what?
Maybe we can hug and you can nestle among my neck.
It's a little hairy, though. I don't want to get all that, you know. I'll be picking, I'll be picking...
Hold on, I'm rubbing my eyes at your back in studio. I don't believe my eyes.
I know. Well, believe it or not, this is Matt Allen. And, of course, Dave Riccio, who has been...
Riccio.
Dave, see, it's been so long, I forgot. Dave Riccio. I should have learned that. I was in Italy.
That's right.
But Dave has been carrying the weight of the show for the last month. I can't believe I've missed a month of shows.
I think it was 5 or 6 weeks.
Well, it was 4 in a row, but I missed 5 out of 6.
Yeah.
So... You know, so I am glad to be back in the studio. I am glad to be at your service. And of course, even without me, Bumper to Bumper Radio is here every single Saturday to help you with your car. Whether you got a car question, car problem, want to buy a new one, want to get rid of an old one, got a list of repairs, thinking about going on vacation maybe.
Oh, yeah, it's getting to be that time of year, huh?
Getting to be that time of year. And, you know, are we supposed to take the car in the day before we go, make sure it's perfect? What are we supposed to do? So if you've got some questions, heck, maybe you ought to just get a rental car, you know? Forget the car, get the rental, and have that extra peace of mind. But 602-277-5827, 602-277-KTAR. You can text us at 411-923 if you'd like to do that, and we'll either maybe text you back or use it on, you know, answer the question on the air and give you a shout out. So, Dave, what do you think? It's vacation time.
Well, you know, it seems like Phoenix vacations in San Diego. Every time I go to Mission Beach, I'm there, and I see my neighbors. I'm like, I didn't know you were here. Yeah. You know, everybody goes there.
We're all here. And
I tell you, yeah, right? I tell you what, Blythe is not a nice place of town to hang out. And last year, I broke down on my way to San Diego.
Wait. Hey. You didn't break down as a brand-new car, Dave. You ran out of gas.
It was a brand-new car with a broken gas gauge. You know, it said, like, literally, I had 100 miles to go. You know, till empty, but it ran out of gas.
But you allege that it was broken gas gauge, but did you ever have anything repaired?
You know, I didn't. Never. I took a picture. I had evidence, and so it worked fine after that. And every time it would get low, my wife would have me drive it, so it would run out of gas on me, and it never happened again. But you know what? The thing is here I am, I'm the car guy. I know a little something about cars. I'm broken down on the side of the road. What am I going to do? You know? So, I mean, I tried some things. Didn't think it was getting fuel, so I was changing, you know, relays. Maybe it's got a bad fuel pump relay. I'm banging on the bottom of the gas tank. I'm trying all these things, but there's really not much you can do on the side of the road.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I have a Gerber, you know, one of those nice it's got like a screwdriver and stuff.
Like Leatherman.
Leatherman, yeah.
You're like a jack of all trades with that thing.
I know, man. I'll rebuild your engine with that.
Well, you know, there is something to say about that. I'll be driving with my wife. You know, we're on our road trip, and you look over and you see somebody broken down, and you see this guy, gal, doesn't matter, hood open, just standing there, and you know they're thinking in their head, what the, you know.
Yeah,
what's going
I know what
here?
you wanted to say there.
But you can't, you know, on the majority of cars, there's not much you're going to fix on the side of the road, especially what I call a late model or modern car. You know, you get an older car, you might be able to trim a radiator hose back a few inches and stretch it over and put the hose clamp on.
I've done that.
You know, or do something with a belt. You can change one belt maybe, but usually the belts just don't break. There's something causes that. You're more likely to injure yourself by getting burned on a hot radiator.
Oh, yeah.
Lop off your finger in a fan blade or something like that.
I got a guy going with a baling wire in his drive shaft where his U-joint broke. And we just wrapped some baling wire on that sucker, and here you go. I actually welded a radiator back together with the Prestone bottle. I cut off a section of that, placed it over the tank, and I heated it up with my cigarette lighter and stuck it on there.
You know, I did something similar. I used to go over to the Unical Training Center in Pasadena when I was working at a 76 station here, going through all their classes back in like 1990, 91, and I had a 280Z. It was running hot, had a leak. And I'm either going to be on the side of the road burning up or the car is going to blow up, one of the two. I was just driving. I had the windshield wipers on because all the water's coming out on the windshield. I'm like, hell with it. I'm getting to my destination. So I got it there, got it cooled off. I went into Wendy's and hijacked a bottle of pepper and dumped the whole thing in a radiator.
You never paid them for that?
No.
Oh.
I bought a burger, though, so it was my
So it's
extra
all-
pepper. So, but I used that. The pepper will plug up a hole. It was a in a jam stop leak.
Yeah.
And, but I got lucky. I didn't have a family at the time, but you don't want to be sitting there with the kids on the side of the road. So what do? I guess there's a couple things. We can prepare the car, but then we can also be prepared when we're in the car.
Think about some of the silly breakdowns. Last week we talked about tires. We had the guys from S&S Tire in with us. Tires are one of those things you shouldn't have, go out on a road trip. You really should have good tires in the car. And the other thing you mentioned is if you got a car that's really not interstate roadworthy, just go rent a car. Rent a car, get there. You can drive there, and if you want to Uber while you're there, you Uber around, return the rental car over there. There's different ways to do it. But there's no sense, if you're going to be over in San Diego for a week, there's no sense in taking a car that, you're kind of driving with one eye open because you're like, hope this thing makes it, kind of thing.
Yeah, and you can get deals on rental cars.
Oh, yeah.
When it's burning hot in Phoenix, they're not renting them. Maybe get something a little bigger. Maybe you got something that's got all
We
the
do a
bells
minivan.
and whistles. Yeah, because you can put your extra
Yep.
stuff in there. One thing, we have an excursion, and my wife really dislikes the vehicle. But I'm like, dear, once we have 7 people in it and everything fits, we have all our luggage, we're not out of brakes, we're not out of power, the thing's not maxed out to the hill. So maybe there is a benefit of just not overloading your older car with some marginal tires and stuff. But if you don't want to rent one, I think it's still a good idea to take your car in, and if you're having your normal maintenance anyway, chances are you're not, it's just going to be normal stuff. But you don't want to go in and find these huge problems and make this huge repair right before your trip necessarly.
Well, here's another little point. Don't leave Yuma with a half a tank of gas. That's a good point. But and you think about cars where they are in their life cycle. If you got a car with 50,000 miles or less, chances are if you keep good tires in the car, you're probably not going to have it. It's highly unlikely you're going to have an issue between here and California.
Even 100, I'd say on some. Like my Toyota truck's got 100,000 miles in it. I wouldn't hesitate to jump in and drive across the desert without opening the hood. But it's also been in the shop every 5,000 miles.
Oh, you're lying.
You're
lying. The shoemaker's kids go without shoes. What do you mean you're taking care of your truck?
It's had some. There's been a stretch on some oil changes. Hey, but it's at the shop every day.
That's
well, maybe not every day either. But
just because it's parked in front of an auto repair facility doesn't mean it's getting taken care of.
By hypnosis or osmosis, it's getting taken care of. But so when should we get the car fixed?
It should. You should be. If you're going in June, you're gonna be driving over to San Diego. Now's a good time to get it in there because the problem is when we find something wrong on a car right before it's going to go out of town and we have to make a repair. Well, there's a chance that someone could make a mistake in workmanship. There could be a defective part. It could be a one of two-step repair. Sometimes in a repair, we ran to the bad link in the chain, so we fix that link, but we don't know if there's another bad link in the chain. Mm-hmm. So I hate to fix somebody's car and then wave them off to drive over to San Diego the next day. I just don't feel good about it, I always feel like you should get your car repaired at least a week before you leave town. That way you can run around town, prove out the repair, make sure everything's good to go, and then go on your trip. Yeah. But if you go the last day, and everyone asks for an oil change, that's kind of their way of getting the car checked right before they're leaving town. But there should be a trip inspection that's done, and not necessarily the cursory. We kind of, sort of look at things.
Yeah, we looked at the easy stuff, and there was nothing there, so it looks pretty good. I don't like that kind of inspection, but I think make your car appointment for an inspection. Maybe you make that when you're making your hotel reservation.
Yeah.
You're probably making your hotel reservation 6 or 8 weeks in advance.
Not me. I'm last minute. I got to pay too much.
Well, summer, you got them already in advance for the year. You're obviously not going to do it then, but at least try and shoot for 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks ahead of time be plenty. That way, if there is a problem or something needs to be repaired, you get it repaired. You got a week to run around town.
And you're not under stress. Do I need to do it? Now you're scrambling for the rental car. And we had a gal in the shop yesterday, a Volkswagen. She's driving up to Northern California. We did an inspection on the car, and part of it was, I'm going to Northern California. I want to know what's wrong. We identified several things, but exactly what you said, Dave. You know what? Let's do the air filter. That's going to probably help with some fuel mileage maybe. Cabin air filter, that's a creature comfort. You want the windshield wiper blades. We need to fix the lights. I don't want to go in and service the transmission right before you leave.
No, there's nothing urgent about that.
Yeah, I don't want to go replace the spark plugs and do some tune. It had work that, quote, needed to be done. She's leaving Monday or Tuesday. We don't need to start disrupting things.
No, we don't.
2 days before.
No, we don't.
That's a prime example. We'll get that stuff when you get back.
So anyhow, when we come back, maybe there's questions about your car. Maybe you're thinking about a summer road trip. Maybe you got something you're worried about. It's making a noise you're not sure about. It's got an intermittent issue. Maybe you're thinking about buying a new car. Maybe you're figuring out how to get rid of your old car. Give us a call, 602-277-5827, 602-277-KTAR. You listen to Matt, and Dave, and today you get to listen to Matt on Bumper to Bumper Radio. Matt and I share car repair tips weekly to help you keep your car safely on the road, and a few of them are easy to do.
Yep, you're right, Dave. And one of the easiest is to have a dependable battery that you can trust to get you started no matter what the conditions.
Interstate batteries are what we trust at Bumper to Bumper Radio. In fact, they're what we use at our own shops for our customers.
If you're like most people, your car is one of your most valuable investments. Make sure you take care of that investment with the power necessary to get you where you need to be. Interstate batteries are America's #1 replacement brand with the factory fresh guarantee, and they're easy to find at good shops everywhere.
Cars or trucks, Interstate has you covered with long life and performance in our harsh desert climates with products like Megatron Plus that carries a 30-month free replacement and a 6-year performance guarantee.
Interstate batteries. No battery lasts longer. Check them out at interstatebatteries.com.
Hi, I'm Kurt Morgan, owner of Shadow Mountain Auto Service in Phoenix. I'm also a college automotive instructor, and I've been a technician for over 30 years. In that time, I've seen all kinds of games and gimmicks in the auto repair business, the worst of which seems to be associated with transmissions. I think it's because, to most, including technicians, the inside of a transmission is a mystery. So when one of our valued customers has a transmission problem, we send them straight to Tri-City Transmission. No games, no gimmicks. That's Tri-City Transmission.
There's nothing more important than family. Hi, Kurt Rock for Kurt's Auto Repair. Family owned and operated and Bumper to Bumper Radio preferred. We've been taking care of Valley families and their auto care needs with a perfect Better Business record for over 27 years. Come experience the difference our ASE Master Techs can make for you and your family at Kurt's Auto Repair. Just east of I-17 at 22nd Avenue and Bell Road, or online at mycarhurts.com. Gas or diesel, foreign or domestic. If your car hurts, take it to Kurt's.
Few cities are as car-centric as Phoenix, and this is the show that'll help you to better understand that machine you depend on to get around the valley. It's Bumper to Bumper Radio. KTAR News on 92.3 FM and the KTAR app for Android and iPhone.
Well, welcome back to Bumper Radio. I am Dave Riccio, here along with Matt Allen. We just got done hugging from the break.
I miss you so much, Dave. Miss you, man.
I literally didn't talk to him for like 4 weeks straight, which is weird because I normally talk to him more than my own wife. Oh, wife. Hey, today's my anniversary.
Speaking of wife, yes.
17 years, 17. Honey, if you're listening. I love you. And
hey, that was supposed to be for me. You just said you loved me and missed me so much.
17. We say 17 long years. You know,
17 going on 40.
Exactly.
No, I just had my anniversary too. We got back. We returned from our vacation the day of our anniversary, May 7th.
How long have you been married?
12 years.
12? Oh, I got you beat by 5.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But you got me beat with more kids than I had.
Yeah.
You know?
You haven't figured it out yet, huh?
No, we don't know how it works. We're still looking for that instruction manual. So we've got a couple calls starting to roll in, but if some open lines at 602-277-5827. We got Mike and Gary. But I'm looking at this text here, Matt. What is one vehicle you rarely see come in your shop to be serviced? i.e. most dependable. I don't see Ferraris in my shop either. They must be very, very dependable.
Not.
What's the least frequent to your shop, Matt?
Well, I wouldn't call it the least frequent, but what I would say is, you pick your flavor. Probably a Toyota. If someone was asking the most reliable car, I would probably pick a Toyota. And that's not just because, I do have a Toyota. That answer used to be Honda. But it's the difference in the people. Now, broad stroke stereotype. the people that buy those cars typically tend to take care of those cars.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, there's a better owner satisfaction. They last longer. Mm-hmm. They don't come in broken down.
It's a nicer customer.
Yes, yes. But you can drive you could drive a bunch of these brand new cars just right into the ground and they won't break down.
Right. You can buy a Toyota and park it in the ocean and it's probably going to rust out. But they all make good ones and they all make bad ones. If I was to sit there and say, "Oh, buy a Toyota, it's the best car ever," and you had a bad experience, you'd be like, "What kind of advice was that?" And it's funny, even among brands, they'll have a Honda Accord with a V6 as compared to a Honda Accord with a 4-cylinder. That 4-cylinder is way more reliable than a V6. We don't see them in the shop. But the V6s, yeah, we're seeing those on a regular basis. Just more power, more torque. It's hard on the rest of the vehicle, that kind of thing. So it's a complex answer to a relatively simple question.
And there's no wrong answer, and there's no right answer either.
Talk to 10 different mechanics, you're going to get 9 different answers, and 7 of them is right.
Yeah. We joke around and back in when Renault and Peugeot in the 80s used to be in the States. Oh, my gosh, they were junk. Well, I was just in Europe. We rented a Renault. Man, that's a nice car. It was a compact little deal, sporty, good sound system.
Remember back in the day, Fiat, we called it Fix It Again Tony.
Yeah. I think that's still what they're named over, Well, we saw, a lot of Fiats, obviously, those cars, but, they're just, that's probably a great car over there, but in the States, maybe people think of it as a bad car.
Remember Yugos? Those didn't last too long.
No matter where those were, they weren't very good.
Well, we've got Amber, we've got Deb, we've got Rick, we've got Gary, and we've got Mike in Phoenix with a BMW X5. Hey, Mike, you're on Bumper to Bumper Radio. How can we help you?
Yeah, hey, guys, real quick. So I've got this X5. It's been a great car for me. I've owned it since the outset there. And the air is blows very cold air. When I start my car, usually the air comes on, and the little green light says that it's on. Lately, of course, heading into summer now, I turn the car on, the light is on, but it blows hot. So then I have to, hit the switch off, wait a few seconds, hit the switch back on. Sometimes it'll come back on cold. Sometimes I have to do it, twice until I feel the cold air coming back. What do you think that is?
Does it, when you switch the buttons around, does it come back instantly cold, or do you think this is a product of where it's just not very cool, so it takes longer to get cold?
No, it comes so typically all the years I've had this car, when the car turns on, you can feel the cold air come almost, I would say almost instantly within, 15, 20 seconds,
Sure.
And now when I turn the car on, it's warm air for the first, if I let it go, it'll just kind of lukewarm air until I hit that switch off, and then I hit it back on. Most of the time it'll start blowing cold air again. Sometimes I have to repeat that twice.
And I'm thinking, Matt, that we may be jump starting something, but just by cycling it on and off,
well, yeah.
getting a cooling fan going, something like that, or maybe we got a blend door blend door motor that's hanging up.
Well, I was thinking even maybe a compressor clutch is not coming on. It's not on. You cycle it on. You reactivate the off. You reactivate the relay. Bam! It finally catches this time. I have a 2006, not the SUV, but the BMW. So, I've always, you got the snowflake and then the recirculate. And that thing is so sophisticated, that BMW air conditioning system, when it wants to bring outside air in. But I guess I would start probably with a service. Bring it in. We evacuate the system. We need to know exactly how much refrigerant is in the system. You don't want to go chasing your tail on something that's not blowing quite right or coming on. Because there's a low pressure switch. If the pressure is a little low or a certain specification, the compressor is not going to kick on, or it's not going to cool down. So start with a charge, but again, there may be a second step to that repair.
Mm-hmm.
With AC, there often is.
Yeah, for sure. So it's something. There's going to be no silver bullet here, Mike, where you just put our finger on it and say, "Hey, this is exactly what's going on." So thanks so much for the phone call, 602-277-5827. And, Matt, I'm not sure what you got going on with the phones here, but we're going to go with Amber info. No.
We can get Amber.
Okay.
Amber and looks like
Phoenix, 2010 Hyundai Santa Fe. How can we help you, Amber? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you for taking my call.
You bet.
I got a 2010 Hyundai Santa Fe. I've owned it since the day we bought it, brand new. 118,000 miles on it, and idea is to drive this thing till the wheels fall off. So I got going on.
Why would you do that? You don't have to drive it till the wheels. Drive it till you don't like it anymore, and then get rid of it. Don't make the wheels fall off. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's all right. When I accelerate, like to get on the freeway, lately I've started to notice like a bit of a hesitation on the pickup, right around 40 miles an hour, getting over that hump to about 50, and I've never had that experience before, and it's like a hesitation and then a lurch, and then we get going. And I'm just wondering what you think that might be.
Is there any check engine lights coming on?
Not at all.
Not at all. So let's just say you're at the stoplight, or you're getting ready to get on the freeway. You take your foot off the off the brake, and give it gas, and you start accelerating, and you're going to end up at 65, 70 miles an hour. So when you get to 40, that's when you feel a glitch?
Yeah, I've been noticing it. It's been happening for about a week, and I've been noticing right about 40, my RPMs will go up, and it's like it's trying to get over that hump to the next gear.
Okay.
What are you thinking, Dave? I mean, I don't know. Two different things.
I mean, I'm trying to, determine, do we have an engine running issue where we're lacking power? So it's revving up a lot higher, and that's the thing that happens this time of year. We start to get these kind of complaints where, you got to drive them harder to get them going with the heat, and things aren't as efficient and that type of thing. And so they seem to be revving out to people longer than they used to be, and they may call it a hesitation, but maybe not. So is it an engine running issue, or is it the transmission's having a bit of a slip as it shifts into fourth gear, somewhere in there? So,
I mean, it's really a test drive. I was thinking the same thing: a transmission problem, or do we have a misfire? So maybe watch the tachometer and see if maybe you can feel something not quite right in that 2,200 RPM range around town without being at 45 miles an hour, and that might help us. But if you don't have a shop, and same with the gentleman with the BMW, go to bumpertobumperradio.com, and you can find great shops there in Phoenix and throughout the valley that can help you with any of these car problems. So.
And while I'm thinking about it, texting and driving, well, I got a second. I'm just going to talk about it. No texting and driving unless you're texting Bumper to Bumper Radio. We'll be right back.
It sounds like they've just had the accurate automotive experience. We're family-owned and operated and have served the Mesa, Tempe, Gilbert communities for over 22 years. We focus on building long-lasting relationships and, listening to you so that we can understand, meet, and exceed your expectations. One location, 14 bays, 88 years of automotive expertise, and a passionate commitment to customer service and excellence. My name is Lee Weatherby, and I approve this message because it's true. We love what we do, and we want to do it for you. Accurate Automotive, the home of friends serving friends.
Don't waste all your precious time, gas, and money trying to cram a 3-day road trip into your Memorial Day weekend this year. Hi, this is Jerry Colangelo, inviting you to join us as we celebrate the 6th annual Bunker to Bunker Memorial Day Stay and Play Tournament, benefiting Phoenix Children's Hospital at the historic Wigwam Resort. Swaying palm trees, poolside margaritas, and lush championship golf are just part of this incredible weekend. Grab your partner and sign up for our 2-person scramble on the world-renowned Gold Course on Saturday, May 27th. This event is loaded with special prizes, awards, and lunch, and it even includes a free coupon for a second round of golf, all for just $85. Better yet, bring your friends and family out and make it a memorable holiday weekend with room night specials starting at just $115 per night. Now that's a holiday value you won't find anywhere else. Space is limited, so register today. For details and registration, go to bunkergolf.com. That's bunkergolf.com.
Trust. It's hard to earn and sometimes even harder to find. If you live or work in downtown Phoenix, Matt Allen's Virginia Auto Service is celebrating over 20 years of award-winning service at the corner of 7th Street and Virginia. Recognized as one of the best service shops in the country, their customers have come to trust Virginia Auto Service for its A+ rating by the BBB, 2-year 24,000-mile warranties, and free transportation to and from your home or office. 20+ years of earning your trust. Virginia Auto Service. They're serious about service.
KTAR-FM, Glendale, Phoenix. KTAR News on 92.3 FM. Arizona's news station.
KTAR. On air, 92.3 FM. Online at KTAR.com. And streaming live on the KTAR News app. Your breaking news and traffic. Now.
It's 11:30. I'm Tom Perumian. Here's our top story. Accompanying President Trump on his trip overseas, Secretary of State Rex Tillerson answering questions about Saudi Arabia's controversial role in a war in Yemen.
We view it as a tragic situation. Obviously, millions of people on the brink of starvation because of the impact of the fighting. But we also think it's important to put the pressure on parties to come to the table and talk.
Tillerson also touting billions of dollars in business deals with Saudi Arabia signed by the president in Riyadh today. It's expected to create U.S. defense jobs in the nation. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange says his legal team will be contacting United Kingdom officials to seek a way forward in resolving his status. Although Sweden has dropped its investigation of rape allegations against Assange, British police say they still intend to arrest him on a charge of jumping bail if he leaves the Ecuadorian embassy. And now we get a check on traffic. Here's Mike Daniels in the RMEGold.com Traffic Center. Mike.
Well, thanks, Tom. I've got a crash blocking the right lane, Loop 101 eastbound, right there at State Route 51. Still working that vehicle fire in Chandler, Loop 202 eastbound at Gilbert Road. And in Goodyear, we get that crash off to the side, 10 westbound at Estrella Parkway. This report brought to you by Carol Royce Realty. Need to sell your home? Carol Royce already has the buyers and can sell faster and for more money. Visit carolhasthebuyers.com or call 480-776-5231. I'm Mike Daniels, KTAR News.
Clear skies, warm breezes, rising temperatures, 95 today, 100 tomorrow, and 104 on Monday. We'll see overnight lows moving up as well from the low 70s tonight to the mid-70s by Monday evening. Right now, it's 88 degrees in Chandler. Weather brought to you by Howard Air. I'm Tom Perumian on Arizona's news station, KTAR News.
We give you traffic updates every 6 minutes weekday mornings.
Southbound 17, brake lights are spreading on you.
Start your day with Arizona's morning news. Weekdays 5 till 9 on Arizona's news station, KTAR News on 92.3 FM and streaming live on the KTAR News app.
Hi, I'm Dave Riccio, owner of Tri-City Transmission. Well, you may have come to know us for being a transmission expert. What you may not know is that our customers regularly ask us why we don't perform repairs to the rest of the vehicle. You guys are so great. Why work on just the transmission? Well, the requests became hard to ignore, and 3 years ago, we began to build an infrastructure to perform general automotive repair. We weren't going to do general repair if we couldn't be great at it. So in 2013, we began the soft opening of Tri-City Auto Repair on Smith Road. We brought on ASE Master Technicians to work side by side with our Master Transmission Technicians. The combination of the best in both of these trades has created a synergy that allows us not only to fix your transmission, but to service and repair your whole car, and to do it well. Let's face it, the modern car has become so integrated. We believe all of our expert knowledge puts us ahead of the curve. Find us at TricityTransmission.com or TempeAutoRepairShop.com. That's TempeAutoRepairShop.com.
Hi, Lisa Henry with Russ Lyon Sotheby's International Realty. Have you been thinking maybe the time is right to move, but you're not sure if you have enough equity in your home or if it really is a good time? Well, home values have increased significantly over the past few years, and interest rates are still historically low. For how long? No one knows. But for every 1% increase in the interest rate, the result is about a 10% loss in purchasing power. So it might be a really great time to sell your home and either upsize or downsize to a new home while the interest rates are still low. Contact me via my website at lisareneehenry.com or direct at 480-330-9530 for a no-obligation market valuation on your home and to hear about our global online marketing plan designed to sell your home quickly for top dollar. Again, that's lisareneehenry.com, 480-330-9530. Come experience the difference a truly customer-focused real estate agent can make.
I think it's enough with the love songs for the day, Dave. Love you, bro.
Yeah, we just had our. We'll be having.
That's what Dave was whispering in my ear this morning. So good to see you, man.
Little pillow talk. Well, welcome back to Bumper Radio. I'm Dave Riccio, here along with Matt Allen, who's been off for the last 5 out of 6 weeks. And it's good to have someone carry the load with me. But what the heck is Bumper to Bumper Radio? Bumper to Bumper Radio is a show about you, your car. Can we help you with your car? A lot of people have questions. They don't really know who to talk to, who might know. Chances are we might know something, and if not, we'll make something up that sounds really good. But Bumper to Bumper Radio is also a network of auto repair shops that you can find at bumperradio.com. You can go there. You can find podcasts of our old shows are on there. You can also find our podcast in the iTunes, the iTunes podcast app.
Store, yep.
But if you're what I consider to be an orphan customer, you go from shop to shop to shop. And at the end of the day, it's not very good auto repair because there's overlapping repairs or just a different set of eyes or different recommendations, that kind of thing. You need to have a home, a shop to call home. So if you don't have a home, go to bumpertobumperradio.com. There's a list of shops there. Those are shops that Matt and I carte blanche will say, go there. They'll take good care of you. Shops where the owner's there. You don't have to talk to a manager in a different territory. You've got a different manager.
Go see the cashier.
Yeah, the cashier will collect your money, and there's no disconnect between the people that are working on your car. You'll find that at bumpertobumperradio.com.
Hey, and when you're there, we have a Facebook page. We could use some friends, and I put some pictures up. I went to Europe on my vacation, Spain and Italy. Never been there. It was amazing, but my wife was like, "What are you taking a picture of?" I'm like, "The car. Look at the cars." I was fascinated by the different cars. The police are driving Land Rovers.
Oh yeah.
My wife hates her BMW station wagon. She thinks it's a grandma car, but the cops are driving BMW wagons over there. They're everywhere. I'm like, "Look, see how cool your car really is."
Yeah, it's very cool.
Dave, I took a bunch for you. The bicycles.
Oh yeah.
Tons of bicycles. You should have seen the parking lot at the Barcelona airport. If there wasn't 5,000 scooters, there wasn't one. I mean, I don't even know how the heck these people know which one is theirs. How do they make enough different keys? They got to just have, just get on one and go, it seems like. But pretty cool. I like the cars and the different stuff.
We literally have a Nissan Figaro at our shop. In Trum's like, we got a Figaro coming in. I'm like, what the heck is a Figaro? So he pulls up a picture. It's from England. And the car's, I saw my technician driving it. He's on the wrong side of the car, and it's this kind of compact little car. And I got a picture.
Good thing
it's going to show up in the wrong place at some time.
Good thing you didn't drive on the wrong side of the road on accident.
I know. Wouldn't know what to do. Well, we've got a bank full of calls. We've got John, we've got Gary, Rick, Deb, and another John. But we're going to go with Deb, who's been waiting so patiently. Deb's in Chandler with a 2001 Toyota 4Runner. How can we help you, Deb? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I'm feverishly looking through my manual here real quick. So I bought this car with 13,000 miles in February 2002. My 4Runner, I love it. Come October of 10, I had a check engine light come on, and I'm looking through the manual right now. There's another little engine dash light that comes on. It's got little squiggles.
VSC. Yeah, it's the stability. On Toyotas, they pretty commonly both come on at the same time.
Okay, well, I go in, and I left there with a new gas cap.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm strolling along, and I'm thinking one time in between my next receipt I have here is December of 15, so 5 years later. About maybe once in there, I went back in to the Toyota. They looked at the numbers, and the code always comes up at like a 440, 442, 443 or something, if that makes any sense. They reset me, and I was on my way, no problems. But, again, now I'm to December 15, happened again. And this time I go in, and they replace my ORVR valve. Now, that's almost a year and a half ago. Since then, I would probably say the check engine light and this little other light comes on. It's probably come on like 4 times. The last time was a month ago. And so I finally become aware of what's going on here a year and a half ago in December 15 and been following it. And every time this light comes on, it's like a day and a half, 2 days after I fill up my gas tank. And I pull that gas pump out when it clicks off. I don't continue to fill it up. But I notice, like I said, it's a day and a half after I filled up my gas tank. And as I approach my car, either from the garage or coming from a parking lot or parking anywhere, I had a real gas odor smell.
Okay. Well, it sounds
and
like
immediately now I've learned I pop the gas tank, And in December of 15, when they replaced that ORVR, their valve, they said, now when you get gas, make sure you hear it click, click, click when you're tightening that gas tank up. So all this past year and a half, I've been paying real good attention to that, and all 4 of these times that the light has come on, I had just gotten gas a day and a half before, and I'm making sure I'm clicking that gas tank like 5 times.
Okay, so we know it's not a gas cap then, right, Dave, with the clicking? Well, we don't know that. We just know the cap is click, click, click. That just means it's tight. It's ratcheting past when it's tight. You know, that check engine light can come on for hundreds of different reasons. So if it is coming on for all the same consistently each time, I don't know if we're checking it each time it comes on. I didn't quite understand the acronym, but maybe it was the rollover valve that I thought I heard was leaking. But what you have is very good information for the shop that's going to fix this car. It happens when you put fuel in it. Just the time frame. There's probably going to be some witness marks maybe of some fuel leakage. They're going to be able to get in there with a gas analyzer and sniff that, smell it, maybe pressurize it with our smoke machine. And so I think it's just a matter of getting in the shop and have it diagnosed. That's all you can do, really.
And what that is that people don't realize that there's just as much, when fuel vapor is let in the atmosphere, that's just as polluting as the exhaust coming out the tailpipe, and even more so. People don't realize that. So these fuel systems are designed to be airtight so that the fuel vapor is not vented into the atmosphere. So what that car does is continually test to make sure that fuel system is airtight, and more than likely it's testing and it's saying, hey, we got a problem. Commonly, gas caps get blamed for that a lot of times, and sometimes, when gas caps get around 10 years old, they start having an issue where they're starting to leak. But there's all kinds of vent valves, and what happens is that vapor is captured in the charcoal canister, and then it's burned up in the engine at some point. Mm-hmm. So there's something going wrong with that system, and we use smoke machines to identify leaks, where we just fog the inside of the fuel system and see where it's coming out. And so it's probably, even though there was some repairs made, it may be one of those situations where it wasn't diagnosed far enough.
Yeah, but we're talking about a repair that was also made 7 years ago.
It's true.
It doesn't mean it's the same thing.
Same deal. There's a lot of components to that system.
It could be similar, but we talked about bumper-to-bumper radio and the network, or what this is all about. So again, if you're looking for a shop, one comes to mind down there in Chandler where you are is Automotive Diagnostic Specialist, Chandler Boulevard and 56th Street. You'll find them along with a whole bunch of others at bumpertobumperradio.com.
Well, thanks so much for the call, Deb. We are going to go with Rick in Guadalupe, 87 Suburban. How can we help you, Rick? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Yeah, I got a question. I have an 87 Suburban, the 3/4 ton, and in the summertime, I seem to have a problem between 2 and 5 in the afternoon because it cuts off.
Okay. What do you mean cuts off?
It just totally cuts off like at an intersection, and then I'll shut the key off, then I'll try it, and then it starts up again. Then I'll travel probably to the next intersection, and it does the same thing. But it just does it in the summertime. It doesn't do it in the wintertime.
Does it sputter and die, or does it just
shut
off?
I'll be just at the stop sign, and it just cuts out.
Okay. But only between 2 and 5.
What's that?
It only does.
Yeah, only between 2 and 5 in the summertime.
Well,
it's really weird.
To me, that's like nap time. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm tired.
I know, man. I'm checking out, man. It's hot. I want to go to sleep.
And in the wintertime, it doesn't do that at all.
Well,
it seems like it, it's catching all the heat from a blacktop and then the heat from the motor, and something
that's
it out. Because I know it's not the fuel pump, because if it was the fuel pump, it wouldn't have started up.
Right. I mean, I guess I would be looking. I mean, it's got nothing to do with the time of day. It's just getting hotter. It must just be getting hotter.
Those are the hottest hours of the day.
The hottest hours of the day. The thing is maybe heat soaked from sitting all day. Wild guesses. They call it WAG.
Yeah.
Maybe some fuel lines need some insulation around them. They've been rerouted over the years. A repair. Maybe there's some shielding that's come off an exhaust manifold. Might be boiling that fuel. Maybe an ignition module inside the distributor is just getting hot and failing. I mean, it could be a number of different things. The key is you've got to have somebody that's able to diagnose why it won't start, when it won't start. We've got to duplicate the problem in the shop.
Right. And, it's in the first thing, somebody's going to put he said that it's not the fuel pump. We don't know that. he's making that assumption, because it'll start right back up. It's got to be okay. But, if somebody's got a fuel pressure gauge on it and it dies at the same time the fuel pressure drops off, well, hey, maybe it is a fuel pump. But I'm thinking there's some electrical components getting hot, or, those old things used to have vapor lock issues, so I'm thinking maybe some of that is going on. So
Yeah.
It's going to take someone with some good diagnostic skills to catch it in the act, what's going on. So let's go with Gary in Sun City. He's got a Jaguar XK8 power steering wheel sticky. What's going on with your Jaguar there, Gary?
It's an issue I've been fighting for about 6 months. I've had the car for quite a while. It's in perfect condition, but the steering started binding up like I have a hard spot. What I'm looking for is another suggestion. I've been babying it with Lucas, both the conditioner and the heavier stuff. But is there any other? It doesn't leak a drop. And when I'm turning, it's fine. But if I'm going like down the freeway, the steering will start binding up and sticking. Do you know of any other product, or do you have a trick that I might be able to try?
Well, as far as tricks and products, there usually aren't any. You put the Lucas in there, and I'm not sure what exact product that is, but I bet it's got a stop leak component to it. But you didn't have any leaks. So you just treated a problem that you didn't have. So now you may have created something. You've got seals that are swelling as a result of this product that maybe is causing your problem.
That'd be like me taking Rogaine.
Yeah, yeah, you hairy bastard. Oh boy, that would throw off. But that Jaguar, I'm thinking this has maybe got the speed-sensitive steering. It's supposed to be easy at idle, and it stiffens up a little bit when it's harder. Well, as you're going down the road, so it's just just veer off the road with minor steering input. Maybe you've got a problem with one of those sensors where it's reducing the power steering prematurely or too much of it, and so we're not even going down the right path. Yes, maybe something with the steering, but it may be a control issue, not even a hydraulic issue. So I guess I'd have to get more familiar with the car, someone that is familiar with that system. You could maybe jack it up without the engine running and see if it binds. Maybe there's a mechanical problem with one of the steering arms or components or something like that.
Yeah, so we may be just trying to put a patch on it that may not even apply in this situation. There may be some diagnostic work that needs to happen. So anyhow, when we come back, we've got John, we've got Carrie, and we've got John. You're listening to Matt and Dave, Bumper to Bumper Radio.
It sounds like they've just had the accurate automotive experience. We're family-owned and operated and have served the Mesa, Tempe, Gilbert communities for over 22 years. We focus on building long-lasting relationships and, listening to you so that we can understand, meet, and exceed your expectations. One location, 14 bays, 88 years of automotive expertise, and a passionate commitment to customer service and excellence. My name is Lee Weatherby, and I approve this message because it's true. We love what we do, and we want to do it for you. Accurate Automotive, the home of friends serving friends.
Trust. It's hard to earn and sometimes even harder to find. If you live or work in downtown Phoenix, Matt Allen's Virginia Auto Service is celebrating over 20 years of award-winning service at the corner of 7th Street and Virginia. Recognized as one of the best service shops in the country, their customers have come to trust Virginia Auto Service for its A+ rating by the BBB, 2-year 24,000-mile warranties, and free transportation to and from your home or office. 20+ years of earning your trust. Virginia Auto Service. They're serious about service.
Matt and I share car repair tips weekly to help you keep your car safely on the road, and a few of them are easy to do.
Yep, you're right, Dave. And one of the easiest is to have a dependable battery that you can trust to get you started no matter what the conditions.
Interstate batteries are what we trust at Bumper to Bumper Radio. In fact, they're what we use at our own shops for our customers.
If you're like most people, your car is one of your most valuable investments. Make sure you take care of that investment with the power necessary to get you where you need to be. Interstate Batteries are America's #1 replacement brand with the factory fresh guarantee, and they're easy to find at good shops everywhere.
Cars or trucks, Interstate has you covered with long life and performance in our harsh desert climates with products like Megatron Plus. It carries a 30-month free replacement and a 6-year performance guarantee.
Interstate Batteries. No battery lasts longer. Check them out at interstatebatteries.com.
Few cities are as car-centric as Phoenix, and this is the show that'll help you to better understand that machine you depend on to get around the valley. It's Bumper to Bumper Radio. KTAR News on 92.3 FM and the KTAR app for Android and iPhone.
Well, welcome back to Bumper Radio. I'm Dave Riccio here along with Matt Allen, and we're here to help you with your car. And we've got John, and Carrie, and maybe time for another one at 602-277-5827. And John and Gilbert's got that Saturn Astra, and I didn't know what that. I just had to Google it just to see what that was. But it's funny, Matt, with all these model of cars, it's hard to kind of keep up with all of them. You're like, I haven't seen one of those before. They're all very similar. There may be, we know exactly kind of the body style, what the, is this a front-wheel drive car? How does this one work? That kind of thing.
You know which one I like the commercial for is the new Alfa Romeo. See you around, Julia. Some people are going to call, oh, yeah, I need to get my Julia fixed. No, she doesn't work here. What? What? Julia. Pretty cool.
I haven't seen that commercial. I'm going to go home and I'll hit it on YouTube. Let's go with John in Phoenix. He's got a car buying question or advice. How can we help you, John? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Yeah, I wanted some advice on buying a new car. I wanted something simplistic, so I wanted a naturally aspirated front engine, probably automatic transmission, probably 8-speed. And just something for durability. Either that or I was going to go into like a small sport utility like a Tahoe.
Well, I wouldn't call a Tahoe a small sport utility. I would call like a Hyundai Santa Fe or a BMW X5 or something like that small. But you laid out a couple criteria there. There's an 8-speed. Well, if that's one of your criteria, I think the pickings starting to narrow down a little bit. But Dave, what do you think on a new car? They're all good.
Yeah, I'd go buy what you want. You know, I mean, something that's in your price range, something that you want to look good in it. That's going to be the number one thing to look for. Do I look good in this car? You don't want to get something over your head. You don't want to get something beneath you. You want just the right fit. So only you can determine what that is.
Yeah, I mean, you got to drive. How are you going to use it? I've said before, kick the salesman out. Here's my driver's license. Here's the deposit. Wait, leave me alone. I want to test drive this thing without you trying to sell it to me.
Yeah.
Or go rent one. Take it on vacation. Then if you like it, come back and buy one. But, I would have bought the car I have if I would have put my car seats in the back first.
Mm-hmm.
That was a great car from the front seat forward, but then put 3 car seats in. It doesn't work out so well, but guess what?
He got rid of a kid. It was a great way to fix that problem.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I wasn't changing the car. Heck with that. They got that safe place sign just left her there.
You ever shop for a car, Matt, and you're driving with the car salesman, and he's telling you all about the technicalities of the car, and everything he's telling you is like wrong?
Yeah, you just bite your tongue. Oh, this is the crumple zone right here, and they've got the
dual overhead mouse traps and twin chrome commuter valves. Oh, this one has twin chrome commuter valves, huh? A nice model.
There, and efficiency. And,
flux capacitor. Yeah, absolutely. It's sometimes when you know too much about cars, you just got to bite your lip and just pretend you don't know anything.
But John, my advice on the car to buy would be the one you like the most and you can afford.
And they all make good ones and they all make bad ones, but there's really I don't think there's any dramatic lemons out there.
Hey, go get a new Alpha Julia and let us know.
Yeah, let us know how that goes.
Yeah.
We've got to get to John and Gilbert. He's got a 2008 Saturn Astra. I think that's how that thing's pronounced. Yeah, Saturn Astra. So it's like a little front-wheel drive thing.
Almost looks like the Toyota Matrix Pontiac Vibe. Maybe it's the cousin.
In that same family.
Is that what that is, John?
I believe it's made in Europe. It was made in Europe, and it's an Opel. People have told me that it's an Opel.
It's got a lot of Saab parts in it, I think.
No, Opel. That's the GM version of Opel over there. Yeah. Could be. Kind of like the Cadillac Catera or the CTS. Some of those are, they've got that Opel, the European version of the GM. So, but anyway, what's up, John?
The question is, every time I put the air conditioning on, there is as best I can describe it, like a clattering sound, somewhat similar to pinging if you don't use a high enough octane gasoline. Similar, but it does not affect the performance whatsoever. it's just an annoying noise when the air conditioning is put. I turn the air conditioning off, it immediately it stops.
And this noise is definitely underneath the engine compartment. It's not underneath the dashboard.
As best I could tell, that it is coming from the engine compartment.
Well, I mean, the only thing that's really going to change when you're turning on the air conditioner is you're engaging the air conditioning clutch in the compressor, the magnetic clutch. So although it's really not causing a problem now, it is probably the precursor to that compressor clutch coming apart or having some kind of catastrophic failure. It could even just be maybe the belt tensioner. You get the extra load on there, and that maybe the spring's a little weak and the thing's bouncing around. So it's probably something, Dave, wouldn't you agree? It's a visual inspection under the hood. Take a look, and I bet somebody could probably narrow that down relatively quickly. And it'd probably be a lot cheaper to fix it before it decides to grenade.
Oh, yeah. Could be a little telltale sign of something's going to happen. So hope that helps, John. We're going to go with Carrie in Wickenburg, 96 Kia Tracker. How can we help you, Carrie?
It's a Geo Tracker.
Okay.
I love your show, guys. I listen to it every Saturday morning.
Oh, thank you.
It's fantastic. I overheated my Tracker twice, 14 years apart, and I'm just finishing up a head gasket job on it right now. And when I'm done, I want to change the gauges to a gauge with an alarm, but I Googled it and didn't find anything. Do you guys know anything about gauges with alarms for water temp?
Not necessarily. I mean, you probably have to start spending some serious amount of money to get something that maybe has an alarm where you can set a predetermined range. I'm thinking of a digital dash like someone might put in a resto mod or some kind of hot rod or race car, if you will. I mean, I know you can buy it.
Try like a performance shop would be the first place I'd stop just to see if they got something like that that's off the shelf that's able to do that. I've seen some of those performance tuners you plug in. They've got alarms in them for when things heat up or something.
But I would make that in addition to what's already there. You could you don't want to get rid of the gauge or the warning light that you already have. You might just be able to get a good gauge that really reads temperature. You might be able to tie it in if you're electronic wizardry. You might be able to set it so it turns on a big bright light on the dash.
Yeah, that's one of the things that remember to look at your gauges. Just for, some people just drive down the road. They never pay attention to their gauges. Get in the habit of looking at your gauges. It's going to save you down the road some big expensive repair. It's a good idea. Hey, thanks, Bree, for running the dials. Thanks for listening to the show. And if you're looking for a friendly, honest, competent shop, you can find them at bumpertobumperradio.com. We'll see you next week.